For those who don't know me, I'm Kat. I'm a wife, a homeschool mom, and an avid reader. It is October, and to celebrate, I thought I would read a few books by my favorite so far creepy writer, and that is Darcy Coates. I have not read a single of her books that I didn't like. So, in this vlog, I'm going to be reading two of her books. The first one being Where He Can't Find You, and then later I'll read Ghost Camera and the collection of short stories that are in that. But let's look at a synopsis of Where He Can't Find You. I specifically picked the order that I'm reading these off of my sister's ratings. She has read both of these, and she gave Where He Can't Find You 4 stars and gave Ghost Camera and its collection 5 stars. I was like, because I messaged her and I'm like, what's the should I read the one before the other? She goes, I had liked both of them, had a great time with both of them, but Ghost Camera just really hit it out of the park. So, Where He Can't Find You is a horror, mystery, fiction, young adult novel. And I do have the audiobook for this, so I am definitely excited for this. So this one starts out with, Don't walk alone or the Stitcher will find you. Abby Ward lives in a town haunted by disappearances. People vanish, and when they're found, their bodies have been dismembered and sewn back together in unnatural ways. But is it the work of a human killer or something darker? Don't stay out late, or the Stitcher will take you. She and her younger sister live by a strict set of rules designed to keep them safe, which is why it's such a shock when Hope is taken. Desperate to get her back, Abby tells the police everything she knows, but they claim their hands are tied. Don't close your eyes, or the Stitcher will remake you. With every hour precious, Abby and her friends are caught in a desperate game of cat and mouse. They have to get Hope back quickly before too much of her is cut away, and before everything they care about is swallowed up by the darkness waiting in the tunnels beneath the home they thought they knew. So, the audiobook for this one, if I can find it, it says 10 hours and 45 minutes. I will have my speed on 1.5 times, so I will get that done faster than that. But seeing as it's 2 p.m. right now, I don't think I'm gonna finish both books this weekend, but I'm gonna see how far I get during the weekend. So I'm gonna get this started, and I will check in with you soon. Alright, so I am 30-ish%. It's actually 29% of Where He Can't Find You. So we have kind of an interesting dynamic going on in this book. We have the townspeople who know all the rules about how to stay safe from their city's boogeyman, the Stitcher. The Stitcher kidnaps you and kills you, takes your body apart, sews it back together in gruesome ways. But with that, this town has come together. You know, you don't go out after dark. You never travel alone. Things like this. Well, a police officer retires and leaves, and the state, I guess, sends a new police officer to take his place. Well, this police officer has a daughter, and she thinks that Abby and her friends are just trying to haze her. And so she listens to him, and she's like, yeah, that's not real. And she listens to him a little more. No, that's not real either. So I have a feeling things are not going to be good for her going forward. But we'll just have to wait and see how it goes. I am, like I said, 29%. I probably read more of the description than I should have, because I know who's going to get kidnapped, and it hasn't happened yet. So I'm gonna have to listen a little more and see where this goes. But while I am listening today, my office area is in need of a tidy up, and so I am going to set the camera up somewhere and bring you along with me while I tidy this mess of an area up. And I will check in soon. Okay, Darcy Coates definitely is an amazing writer. I am enjoying this book so much. I am now at 68%, I think, is where it came up to. 69%. So whereas with my first update, I did it a little bit early, at 29%. I should have waited till my usual 30%. And because that's when, like, all the action has already happened between 29% and 33% that I was expecting from the synopsis. And it's why I usually wait until about 30%, 33%. We are now at the point where these kids are all working together to try to find hope. They have their suspect, and they are working really hard to get answers. The one thing that they, I guess, weren't expecting was that no one would believe them. And so they're struggling a little more than they expected. But they have found a few unlikely helpers in all of this, and we're about to get the backstory from one of these helpers, and I really think he's going to shed a lot of light on what's going on. Yeah. Sorry, I'm struggling with my asthma a little today. But yeah, so I am gonna get back to it because I want to know this history. And I have a feeling I have about 3 hours left according to this. I have a feeling I'm gonna finish this before dinner, but I'll have to see. I do have dinner on now, so yeah, we'll see how things go, and I will check in a little bit. Alright, so I have now finished my book. Why do I have a hard time with that name? Where He Can't Find You, by Darcy Coates. And I enjoyed the book. And I can't quite put my finger on why it doesn't get 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. The writing is great. Darcy Coates does a great job at throwing things together and them working out really well in the storytelling aspect. And yet I feel like something's missing. I don't know if it wrapped up too easily or too quickly or what, but something there at the end was missing. Overall, though, I had a great time. Will I recommend this to other people who like the horror thriller genre? Most definitely. So that leads me to my next book, and I am going to start Ghost Camera by Darcy Coates. This one is actually a collection. You can see here, this marks the beginning of the different stories. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 novellas and short stories in here. I think we have 2 novellas and then 5 short stories is how it actually breaks down. My sister said that this one just really knocks it out of the park. I do know from reading the author's note that Ghost Camera was the first story that Darcy Coates wrote. And she usually has a rule about not going back and editing finished stories. But she made a little caveat for this one to clear up some confusing parts and things like that. I am really looking forward to that one. Ghost Camera is a novella about a girl who finds a Polaroid camera, and she starts to notice as she takes pictures that something is in the background, and it's getting closer to her each time she takes a picture. So I think I'm gonna go on ahead and get that one done, and then I might save the others as kind of palette cleansers throughout the month, but we'll just see how I feel when I finish Ghost Camera, and I will let you know what I thought of it. Alright, so I have finished Ghost Camera. That was an amazing ride. I had such a good time with it. So it's 100 pages long, and so I didn't do any updates in the middle, but reading it, you definitely get the feeling that Darcy Coates is in her element and that she was created to write horror. Because this is her first, and yes, she says it took her 7 months editing it the first time, and that she re-edited a little bit when she put it in this collection, but the story is amazing. It really sucks you in and has you going through the whole thing. I did not want to put it down. I only read 18 pages last night and then closed the book for the night and then picked it up as I was cutting things out for work and did not want to stop even when I went to the grocery store. I did stop with when the stopped it at the short story Payment of the Dead, or Payment for the Dead. That is the next short story in this. It's just a couple. It's about 13 pages long, so I don't think it's gonna take me long to do that one. I think I'm gonna do Death Birds. And the house, I think I'm gonna go through to the Run to Broken Ridge Lighthouse, which is 3 of the short stories before I update again, just because Payment for the Dead is, like I said, 13 pages. Death Birds is, I knocked my clip out, so about 30 pages, and then House on Boxwood Lane is about 6 or 7 pages. So I think that will be a good point to update. And then I have a couple short ones and then a novella at the end. So I will check in with you guys later after I finish those and just kind of give a brief summary of what I thought, and we will go from there. I'll talk to you soon. Alright, so we had Gravediggers, Death Birds, and a Baba Yaga type house, along with a race on the beach. Oh my goodness. The things going on in these stories is absolutely crazy. I don't know how Darcy Coates thinks of all of these things, but some of the things, like with the Death Birds, I could see that being a beneficial thing, just because here you have these birds appearing when they think death is coming. It's not a prophecy to be fulfilled necessarily, but it's just kind of a, this might happen. And I feel like I am probably slightly messed up in the head, because I'm looking at these and I'm going, that could be very beneficial in some ways, and yet at the same time I don't want to see Death Birds anywhere. I think that would cause major nightmares. Yeah. So I am left with a total of 4 stories. Again, we have a really short one, a longer one, a shorter one, and then the final one, which is about 100 pages. Again, so I do like the kind of setup of this one, where we have a novella, then we have a short story, then we have a longer short story. It breaks it up nicely and kind of lets you get kind of invested in the story, and then have one that's a little less investment. So I am going to keep reading and see where this goes. I'm really enjoying it though. And so as I'm listening to this last half of the book, basically, I am going to fold laundry because I need to get that done since tomorrow is a school day. So I'm gonna listen to some more of this, and then I will check in at the end. Alright, so last night after I went to bed, well, after I turned off the lights, I did finish the ghost camera collection, and I have to say, ghost camera was not my favorite of the set. Not saying I didn't like it, it just was not my favorite of the set. It is a great place to start that story collection because it's kind of what set off everything else. But my two favorite in there are Death Birds and a box of tapes. Tape in the box. It's the last one. Those two were fantastic. And there's another one, I can't remember the title of it, but the back cover does have a slight alluding to it. And it's the one about the flight, the plane crash. She gets in a plane crash, and she and one other survivor make their way through the woods. Those three really brought it over the top. I think if this were just ghost camera, I think I would have given it either a 4 or a 4.5 stars. But with all of those in there, it definitely jumps it ahead to a 5-star. I had so much fun with these, and I'm glad that I went ahead and read them in the order that my sister did her ratings in, because I think I would have been disappointed with oh my goodness, why can't I remember that title? That one leaves my brain every time, and I enjoyed it. Oh, big yawn. Okay, Ghost Camera. Where He Can't Find You. Why I have such a hard time with that title, I don't know. But, Where He Can't Find You, I am going to give 4 stars. Ghost Camera, I am going to give 5 stars. I had a fantastic time with these 2 books. And so, I think I'm going to end this vlog here. I did start on October 5th and finished Ghost Camera on October 7th. So definitely a great start a great 2 days of reading, and a great start to my October books. So I will see you guys next time.